So, hi everyone. Tonight we are looking at the first race of the Herd Summer Racing League, and it's on the Eastern 8 course. And for those that don't know the difference between the Herd Summer Racing and the Winter Racing, the Summer Racing are all points races. So this one has, I think, a couple of sprints and two hill climbs as well. So compared to the normal kind of races, it will be definitely a lot more hectic. Now, the problem we've got is that unlike normally, these races are all separated in terms of category. So the A's all together, the B's, the C's, and the D's. Whereas the winter racing is like an E category. So I'm not 100% sure if how the commentary is going to work, and if I'm going to be able to commentate on all the races, or if I'm only going to be able to commentate on the one race. So I'm trying to see. I think the D race has started, and I'm going to try and see if I can do a fan view of what's going on. And if I can, that'll be amazing. But I'm not 100% sure I can. So I'm looking at Nate, who I think has started in the D's, and it's not letting me fan view at all. I might do in a second. Need to connect to the same network. Let's see what happens here. So yeah, otherwise we're just going to have the A race, which doesn't start for another 12 minutes. So bear with me here and we will see. So right, this is more interesting now. So if we go to events and we look down here, we can look at this. This is beautiful. So here we are in the D race right now, and looking at Nate Home at the moment. Looks like we've got a couple of riders broken away already. Now the tricky bit about the fan view though is that we can't click on the people, so we can only follow one particular person. So now this is actually one of the sprints. They're on that Fuego Flat sprint. Come on, Nate. The other guys haven't got the memo up in front. Nate has got the memo, and he's flying past them. Nice. So it looks to me like Nate is going to pick up the points here. Let's have a look behind. Oh, there's a guy just behind him. Come on, Nate. Oh, just pipped on the line. Pipped on the line. Now, these are quite long races, actually. What time does the... let's have a quick look. See what time the C race starts. Give me 2 seconds. So it looks like just the D race has started. We can, on the Zwift Power, we can check the live feed to see which one looks like they're going. So it's just the D's right now. I'd imagine the C's will be shooting off any moment. So there's a lot of riders. The C race looks like it's going to be an absolutely fantastic race. We've got, goodness, about 15 herd riders in there. Really nice range of different herd riders and a whole bunch of ATPs. So we might well jump into that one and follow some of the riders in that. And then the B race also looks like a really fantastic race. We've only got 3 herds, but it's Bobby Hendrick and John Ring. Nice bunch of ATPs, including Andy Kroll, who's a really good rider, and a nice bunch of OTRs. So I think some really good racing in that one as well. Unfortunately, it's like I say, it's going to be very tricky to jump between the races. We will try our best. So let's have a look, see if C has actually sort of, yeah. So now we're following Michael Bowser in the C race here. Now Bowser gave his name to the term Bowsering, which is about riding brilliantly in the draft, and as you can see here, he is in the perfect draft position, especially with PD4. This is probably, any further back actually you probably lose a bit of draft, so this is absolutely perfect. And they're going to be coming to the first sprint, and Bowser is a very good sprinter as well as a good drafter. So let's have a look who we've got here in the C race. Yeah, a whole huge, incredible list. So it's Ernesto, Alan Cheval, Alex Silver, Alan Bray, Colin Sheridan, David Kane, Ed Whedon. So Ed's actually racing up. Nice. He's still a D, but he's racing in the C. Excellent work, Ed. Eric Sedgwick, Filippo Alberto, Kai Sonder, Carl Noguts, Lisa Jones, Michael Bowser, Richard Haig, Shane Alfreds, who I think won the Omnium. And look at, here goes Bowser. Come on, Bowser. Don't let me down. It's quite a long sprint, so actually those other guys in front have probably gone a bit early. And Bowser is, yeah, he's catching them up. Can he get them all? That's some really decent sprints there. Good job, Bowser. Okay, let's jump back to the B race, and let's see if that one has headed out yet. And we'll see if we can follow Bobby Edwards. No, it's still at the line. Now the clock's saying 6 minutes. I'm not 100% sure if that is Bobby's time or if that is actually the time for the A race. Let's just jump into the A race quickly. Oh, there's Bry, but he's up a mountain. So let's see if Ewan's in the pen. Oh, we can't follow Ewan. Okay, so yeah, Ewan has just joined the pen. So I think that time, I think the bees will. Oh yeah, the bees are off at 11, so they're off at any moment now. So I think what we'll do, we'll jump in with the bees, and we'll follow them to that first sprint, and then we'll jump in back into with the A's. And then once everyone's going, we'll jump about between the different groups. Right, here go the bees. I'd expect Bobby to do a pretty good effort in this race. Now, for those that don't know the course, basically heads through the desert, and we've got the sprint is that the Fuego Flats sprint. Then we go all the way around the desert up into Titans Grove, so the standard Titans Grove climb, which is the longer climb, like the 4-minute climb. Then we go back around. It's a sort of a figure, yeah, it's a figure 8 course, and then you have the where is that sprint? Yeah, the Fuego Flats reverse sprint. Then you go back into Titans, and you have the Titans Grove reverse, which is the shorter climb, and then finally finishing back in on the Fuego Flats sprint. But the second Fuego Flats sprint is not part of the actual the sprint, the preems. So yeah, unfortunately, it's a bit difficult this week, and this is a really long race. So we'll, everyone's bear with me here. We'll try to catch all the key moments in the different groups, but it is going to be the case of flipping between riders that I'm actually following, and if they're not at the front, then it could be slightly problematic. Okay, so we're in with the bees here. They're coming up very soon to the first sprint, and we're following Bobby Edwards, who's taken a nice casual approach here to go for getting maximum draft. And look at this. This is a really great sprint. He's using, he's going maximum draft. Don't forget, it will be almost certainly, I think, the fastest through rather than first across the line. And Bobby has picked up fantastic draft. This is a very long sprint actually, so this is quite impressive. Excellent work, Bobby. Unfortunately, I can't click on any of the other riders in this group, so although I will be able to for the A's. So the A's go off in 60 seconds. I think what we're going to need to try to do with this this stream is have a couple of riders in different categories so that we can follow the races a lot better. But it is difficult, unfortunately, with the mixed cat. Let's just jump in quickly with the D's and see how. Yeah, so we've got a little group. Look like they've broken away. Let's have a look if there's anything going on behind. Yeah, so there's a group of 6 there that have definitely broke away, although there was only 7 starters anyway. And then in the back in the C's, a very big group. Ah, okay, so now it's actually letting me click through on the C's, which is great. Okay, this is better. But yeah, we can see it is a big group. Let's see how many are in that front. Wow, it's a huge group. So yeah, we've got about 40 riders in that front group. Okay, let's jump back into the A's, and let's see. Well, so we got Big Bry, who I had a massive competition with last week. We've got Ewan Simpson, another great rider from the herd. Tyler from Dirt, who's very strong. It looks like they've already broken a long way away from Matsumoto, who's just kind of cruising. So it's just basically these three. So let's see what they do on the first sprint. Oh, this is going to... the first race today had a really fantastic competition. There was just so many A riders. Unfortunately, we've only got 3 in this one. But on the plus side, they're going to pick up good points. Oh wow, Mark John. He's riding in the B's. Ah, and Brent is there. That was probably Mark that led it out. This is actually really good. Now, I think the reason this is the case now is because my race has started, so I can shoot between the different groups. It's going to be difficult for me to... I think I'll have to fan view it to jump up to check out where we are. So the next big thing is going to be Titans Grove. So what we'll do, let's just jump in with Nate. Yep. So Nate is heading up Titans Grove, the initial part right now. So this climb, yes, anything from, I guess, 4 to 5 minutes, depending on your category. It's only around 4%. I think it's about 2.5 kilometers. So, and it's definitely a very draftable climb. If you're in a group, your the numbers on this climb, your times on this climb will be much quicker. So Nate's in a great position here in the group. Looks like the only herd rider. Let's just check that out. Let's go to live, check out. Oh no, we've got 2 actually. It's there's also Paul Kelliher. Which one is Paul? Oh yeah, he must be this dude here. Yeah, he hasn't got the herd kit on, but he's in there. So we're going to follow Nate up this climb. It kind of winds around here, and then as it starts getting mistier and you head into the bit with the dinosaurs, that is where the climb starts. But still a little while yet. So yeah, just one long sort of curve to the left, then a bit of a curve to the right, and then you go past a Diplodocus or a Brachiosaurus or something, and that's when the climb starts. Now I think Nate is playing a very cagey little game here. Because it's going to be the fastest time up the climb, if you hang back a little bit and then close that gap quickly, he doesn't want to lose a draft here, but if he closes that gap quickly, he'll get a real jump on everyone right away. So this is actually very nice riding. I think that's what he's going to do. So basically it's going to go around here, it goes up a little bit or down a little bit. You'll see the big dinosaur coming up in a moment, and then that is the start of the climb. Now I'm hoping that Nate's playing a cagey game and not. Yeah, looking at the power he's putting out. Yeah, so here's a Brachiosaurus by the looks of it. And I would expect Nate to really put the power down now. And yep, he certainly has. Now, if he closes up here, that's very well done. Of course, if he doesn't catch on to the draft, then not quite so well done. But it does look to me like he's going to do it. Come on, Nate, get on that draft. This is really going to help you if you do. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot harder. Yeah, I think he's going to do this. Because it's going to go up again. Last time he really put the power down up the climb. Yeah. Come on, get on the back of them, Nate. Yeah, my only worry about this ride here for Nate, is that he's missing out on a lot of draft, so he's probably putting out a lot more power than everyone else. If you can just catch on the back here, it's going to really, really help him. Come on, Nate, close up quickly. Because don't forget, Nate started about 3 seconds behind, so if he finishes over the line level with everyone, he has, just by default, ridden this 3 seconds quicker. This is where he needs to close up though, because you don't want to be riding those last couple of bits. Yeah, this is good. So he's now in the draft with this guy. Let's shoot quickly back to the C's. And yeah, so they are very soon going to hit the climb. So we'll jump over to the D's. Yeah, Nate has played a very cagey game here. Very nicely done. Now, if anyone had like really broken away, that would have put a bit of a spanner in the works. But actually, it's been very, very good. So, back to the C's. They are just about to start the climb as well. And yeah, there's a absolutely gigantic group here, including Lisa Jones here, Alan Bray. I've seen Bowser's in there, Carl No Guts, Ernesto, Kai Sonda, Tim Mullet. Oh, fantastic. Just so many. Ed has just dropped off a little bit. It was awesome that he was actually trying to ride with the C's today. Okay, let's just check out what's happening at the front here. So, Nate is coming up to, he's got this straight here. He's ridden this well. If he could close up on those guys, then he's definitely going to get the fastest time up the com. Let's check what's happening in the C's. Yeah, so the C's have started. It's a huge group still together. Yep, we'll catch up with them once Nate's finished the climb. He's dropping a little bit back, but he is one of our herd, another herd rider at the front, pushing on nicely. It kind of flattens off just around here, He's putting in a good effort. This is Paul Kelleher, just being overtaken by Vanessa Powell. This is quite impressive because Paul's giving 30 kilograms to Vanessa. All right, excellent work. And Nate looks like he's just clocked over 4th up the comm. Okay, let's get back to the C's and see how they're progressing. So the massive group is still together, absolutely together, nothing separating them. Let's just check in with the B's and see where they are on the climb. Let's go to Bobby. Yeah, big group there. They've just hit Titans, still not in the foggy part. So I think what we'll do, we'll just keep skipping back and forward. I think the B's they should probably catch the C's by the end of it. So back to the C's. So D. Kane, who is David Kane, is putting a bit of a spurt in. Oh yeah, this is actually right near the end now. Unbelievable that they're all still together. It has definitely broken up a little bit. Bowser's riding really well up there. Who else have we got? Eric Sedgwick, Kai Sonder. Has Lisa managed to stick in with the front group? Yep, Shane is there. Lisa's just dropped a little bit. Kai is the man at the back. Alan Chevel's up there, pushing over 5 watts a kilo. Very nice. And they've all gone up together. This is very impressive. So we've got a group of about... It's thinned down to about 20, maybe 30 riders. And here they come to the finish of the comm. Let's see who goes over the top first. Bowser is putting in a burst. Tim Mullet as well. And Eric Sedgwick. So the three herd boys. Excellent work at the top. Okay. So let's shoot back to the B's now. Let's check out how Bobby's getting on. So it's definitely broken up a little bit here. We've got a group pulling away at the front here. These guys must have really pushed hard up this comm to drop those people behind them. And look at the watts per kilo. Between 5, some of them are doing 7 watts per kilo to try to stay up. And this is still on the early bits of the climb. So a group of 6 have broken away. And that does look like those following behind have. No, there's a definite gap of 5 seconds to some of the big players like Mark John here, Andy Kroll. Bobby's in that group as well. Interesting. Now, could it be they're pacing it and they're going to close up on these guys? Or did they put too much in on the initial sprint? Let's just shoot over to the A's quickly. Let's just check out what's happening in that race. Wow, so Tyler has broken away. Ewan's following him. And Bry has been dropped as things stand. But we'll follow them over the top. Let's get back in with the bees, because the bees is looking pretty exciting. Have they managed to close up? Yeah, so Bobby is leading the chase. Bobby is leading the chase. And it looks like they've brought it back, which is great riding. Yep, Bobby and Mark John. Mark John's putting in a burst here. And they've closed it back up. Excellent. So the bees now, a big group of about 20, I think it's like 25, 27 riders. And they're on to the second to last hairpin. Now, I didn't see the start. Could it have been that some of the riders just held back a little bit? So they've automatically got the faster climb. Oop, trees falling down. Bobby is, somebody's putting a little bit of an attack in here at the front. Herrera, Bobby's chasing. This is Jeff Herrera. Round the final hairpin just before the top. Looks like Bobby is the top. A lot of orange numbers there as they push to hit the comp first. Mark John is opening up a bit of a sprint. Bobby's been overtaken. He's now fourth as they come up. And Bobby goes over fifth over the line. Decent times though, 3:55. Yeah, so I think that's what happened. They gave a bit of a gap at the start. Nicely done, guys. Okay, so now let's check back with the A's. So here we've got Tyler and Ewan putting some serious hurt down by the looks of those orange numbers. Wow, these guys are punishing each other for some reason. Tyler's trying to make a break on the climb. This could definitely turn into a three by individual time trial here, but potentially. Ewan's chasing him though. There's 3 seconds between them at the moment. Tyler is a very, very good climber, but Ewan's also very strong. Looks like Big Bry is falling back a little bit. He closed up for after we were last watching, but he looks like he's falling back a bit now. Now Ewan is still putting down a lot of power, but Tyler is definitely matching him and probably about 1 watt per kilo on average more. But look at this, every time Tyler increases, Ewan responds. Bry's probably still got a bit of omnium in his legs. We had a titanic battle last week, went all the way to the final, right to the line, and it was really hard for us. He could definitely. So Ewan's dropped a feather here. He's now 6 seconds back. Now the feathers run out, and Tyler is still 4 seconds ahead. He closed up a bit though. Bryce 30 seconds down now. I don't think he's coming back from that. But if Ewan can just keep it here. Tyler is a very strong rider though. Second to last hairpin. Tyler, yeah, Tyler's putting a watt per kilo more though right now. They're very well matched overall, these two. But Tyler just he's a very, very strong rider. Now he's 9 seconds ahead. This is going to turn into an individual time trial, I think, for quite a lot of kilometres. It's a 50-kilometre race. Last hairpin. Tyler pushing hard. Of course, if he relaxes, right. Nicely done, Tyler. He's going through the top of the com and he's got 17 seconds on Ewan. 4:03. So yeah, that you can see how much not being in the draft makes a difference. His numbers were very high, but the Bees did 3:55. But they had, most of them had draft all the way. So you know, that's how much. I don't think their numbers were quite as high. So the interesting thing now is, will Ewan wait for Bry and work together to try to close, or will he just time trial it himself? Okay, let's jump up back to the D's now and let's see where they are. So we've got a group of 3 have broken away from the rest, and Nate is in there. Alan Bray. Oh, sorry, no, that's the C's. Oh, okay. So actually, there's some. Yeah, no, we've got 2 C's, including Paul Kellier, that have broken away, and Nate is in the second group of 3. And you can see they're being closed down rapidly by the C's here, just 26 seconds behind. Now, this is a really long race. This is going to take probably the D's maybe an hour and 45 minutes. If they actually, what could be really good for Nate and his there's a huge group of B's here. They can jump on this group of B's and yeah, probably use them to drag them back to those other D's, which is a little bit unfair, but that's racing. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. So they come out of the tunnel here. They're going to go back into the desert. I believe. And then they will go back into Titans for the reverse com. So yep, Nate has been swallowed up by the C group, which is a massive group. And contains all the C's that we were expecting, like Bowser, Cheval, Ernesto. So all of the herds that we were expecting. Yeah, there's Cole, the Duke, and then there's a bit of a gap to the rest of the C's, but this could play nicely into the hands of Nate, and as long as they manage to jump in, which it looks like they have. Yep, they have. So it's going to be really interesting now. Let's see how far those other D's are ahead. So they are 1 minute and 17 ahead now. I would wager that when we next come back to them, they are going to be a lot closer. 1 minute 17. Let me make a note of that. Right, let's jump in with the B's and let's see how things are going here. This looks like it's all together at the front of the B's, I think. So yeah, we've got Andy Kroll, we've got Bobby, we've got Mark John, we've got Brent, and yeah, so it's a group of 21 B's. So oh no, sorry, yeah, no, Brent's at the back. So 16 B's in front. So it's been whittled down, but they are going to be chasing big time on the C's. Let's see if we can work out the gap between the other C's. Yeah, they're about 2 minutes, over 2 minutes behind, nearly 3 minutes behind. So they've got quite a long way to go before they catch them. Let's jump in with the A's, and let's see. So interesting. Tyler has done Ewan has done a mammoth effort here, and he's only 5 seconds behind Tyler, which is fantastic. 4 seconds behind. If he can catch him up, that's huge. Big Bright, he's time trialing. It's a bit of an unfortunate race, this, with so few A's. It's very strange, actually, to have so few A's. Come on, Ewan, close him down. Oh, Tyler's just keeping away. Yeah, he's spotted him, and he's holding it at 4 seconds. And I guess the question is, does Ewan want to put in the big watts to close him down? Tyler again's putting an extra watt per gear. I mean, Ewan's keeping him honest here, which is good. But this is tough. This is tough racing. Okay, let's jump back in with the C's, and let's see if they've managed to close that gap on the other D's. So Bowser's, yeah, he's off the back here. He needs to close up. Oh, Michael, don't let those guys get away. Yeah, they're putting the effort in. They've closed it down. Nice one. Okay, so we've got Nate has very cleverly ducked in with the C's. Now the other Ds were 1 minute and 17 ahead. And they're holding it. It's now 1 minute and 20. Where's our man Kelleher? Is he still riding? Oh, he's quite a long way back. So it looks like he's dropped quite a long way back and is probably going to join. Has he stopped, or is he? I can't find him. See if I can find him on the fan view. So Paul, let's just fan view him. So oh yeah, he has dropped right back into this pack of C's. So interesting. He was in a big breakaway before, so now it's just Vanessa, and I mean she is incredibly holding off what I would call a rampaging pack of C's. So she's lost 10 seconds though. Okay, excellent. Let's jump back in with the B's. So let's see if we can work out how far behind the B's are from the C's. Probably easiest to look on here. So 4:57, and they're 3 minutes behind. There's a big gap. This is the front of the B's now. So yeah, Mark just at the back of the pack, doesn't want to get too far off. Yeah, so there's a group of 16, but it is stretching out a little bit. This guy, Jay Herrera, very close to losing the draft if he's not careful. No, he's closed it up. So, yeah, in the B's, we've still got Brent, we've still got Mark John, we've still got Bobby Edwards, we've still got Andy Kroll, Mike Fish, all the sort of normal crew that you'd expect. I guess the difference is that they've got a much smaller group than the C's. So even though these guys might well be putting more watts down, the C's potentially just got more firepower overall. So probably quite soon we're going to get to the next sprint. Probably quite a long way to go. Right, we're going to have a quick intermission while we wait the sprint. Be right back. So let's just check this out. Let's see how far Vanessa Powell. She's currently in front of the whole race, leading the whole race, but she's 48 seconds now, so she's lost 20 seconds on the C's. I would say they're probably going to catch her. They'll probably, I'm going to say by the time they do Titans reverse, they're going to be very, very close. I mean, it's incredibly hard to hold off a pack of about 20 riders. But fair play, she's riding very well. So this is Vanessa. She's going through the little oasis, which means I think she's got about, I don't know, something like 4k to the sprint. And about 3k after that, it heads back into Titans. You can see the C's now 44 seconds behind, pushing on hard. Some of them, Shane's riding at 4 watts per kilo, and they're already in the oasis. The B's they're about 4 minutes behind. I'm not sure they're really closing. And the A's are 5 minutes behind. Let's check back in with the A's, because let's see if Ewan did manage to catch Tyler. He was right close to him. Nope, Tyler has really pulled away. Slightly confused about where they are on the course here. Oh yeah, yep. They're going back into the desert now. Yep. So, yeah, Ewan 37 behind. They will definitely not catch the B's, but the B's have got a massive group. Let's head back to the B's and see if it's still all together. So, yep. Looks like Mark keeps losing the draft a little bit. Well, that could have been a little tactical move to try to drop some of the guys. But yeah, big group, still 16 in the front group of the B's. Still got Brent, still got Mark John. We've still got Bobby. So it's gonna be really good when they fire up. Titans reverse. So back to the C's. Let's see if they're any closer to Vanessa. Now, see, Nate and Paul have played this very, very well because they now, I would imagine, are very close. Yeah, they're just 25 seconds and they've been dragged back. Probably they wouldn't have got Vanessa had the C's not come through, but the C's have come through and Vanessa's only got 25 seconds. And she might not even make it to Titans. I mean, this is pretty harsh on Vanessa, although Vanessa is riding very high watts per kilo for a D. So in this group, we can see we've got Alan Bray, we've got Eric Sedgwick, we've got Bowser, Ernesto, Nate Home hanging in there, Carl No Guts, Tim Mullett, we've got Alan Cheval, a great big herd, a great big bunch of herds, and they've dragged those D guys with them as well, which is really good. Now the interesting thing is, will the D's get dropped up the hill? That was the sprint, by the way. and they're just 5 seconds behind Vanessa now, and they've closed the gap. So Vanessa, but she's clearly a very good climber. She's not the lightest. We've got a Japanese chap who's 50 kilograms, which is amazing. Nearly all the Japanese are 50 kilograms according to Zwift. But just an observation. But yeah, so Vanessa's now back with the group, but she's a very good climber. So it's only about a 1.5 2 minute climb probably for the D's. So will Vanessa be able to put some distance between herself? Now Nate has lost the group. He's lost the group on the sprint, and actually quite a lot of the C's have lost the group. So Nate does have a little group with him, but now who managed to stay? Which of the D's? So Paul and Vanessa, and is there one other D? No, just the 2 D's. So interesting. Oh no, 3 Ds. Yeah, we've got Mido as well. So now very soon they're going to be going up the climb, and that's going to be where things get really interesting. Let's shoot back to the B's and see how they are now. Bowser is off the... No, sorry, that's Bowser in the C's. Come on, mate. Catch back on. Let's check out the B's. Have there been some attacks? Right. There is some attacks going right as we picked it up. Look at this. Oh no, this is the sprint. Yeah, this is the sprint. Where's Mark John? Yeah, he's right at the front. Right at the front, as you'd expect. Although... Oh, Mark. All the way to the line, dude. They were really... That was a very, very long sprint. Wow. They've actually closed up a whole minute on the C's. They could potentially catch the C's at this rate, because I'd imagine these guys are going to absolutely fly up the com. So what have we got here? We've got Bobby, we've got Mike Fish, we've got Andy Kroll, we've got Mark John. Brent has dropped off a little bit. He's got a group of 4. He could be lucky, but he's going to have to put a bit of effort in here to close up. I think he's going to close it. Yeah, it's a normal sprint situation where people will lay off the power for a little bit. Okay, so the B's are back together. Let's shoot back to the C's, where things have been really interesting. So they are into Titans. Nate has definitely lost the front group, unfortunately, and he's back with Alan Cheval. Bowser still in the front group. Tim Mullett, Carl Noguts, Shane Alfred, Kai Sonder, Eric Sedgwick, and they have been joined by Paul and Mido, don't know the first name, and Vanessa. So they've got about 3 minutes of riding before they get to the com. Let's just very quickly have a quick look at the A's. Yeah, so Tyler in front, about 47 seconds. But he's a very strong rider. Okay, so let's go back to the C's, because they're going to be first up the climb. Be right back to get the climb. So we catch back in with, it looks like Kai Sonda has been distanced at the back there. It's going to have to really work hard to catch back on. Still Vanessa, Mido and Paul, the herd guy, are in there. Although it's all sort of breaking up a little bit even now, and we haven't even got to the climb yet. There's a few surges. Eric at the front, putting a bit of power down. I like it. I think things could get completely blown apart here on this next climb. So yeah, Kai definitely lost the front group there. He's back with Morrison. Nate is back here with Alan Chevrolet. This is a long old race, this one. This is the climb before the climb that they're on at the moment. But it actually is quite a long climb in its own right, that bit there. Coming up to the bit where the bear's falling out the tree. Here's the bear. Oh, he's climbing the tree here. Oh, he climbed up brilliantly. Okay, so they're heading down the hill now. Very soon, just a few more bends, and the climb's going to start. And then we'll jump back in. So the bees they're like 2.5 minutes behind. They're closing up fast, actually. Okay, just around this corner is where the climb starts, and I think things are going to go crazy right now. So here we go on the climb. Feathers dropped there. Yeah, already it's starting to split. Eric looks like Terry Leduc is really having to push hard. I mean, this is fantastic. Look at this, 11 watts per kilo. Fantastic to catch that up. Thought he was getting dropped there. It is stretching out, but it's not quite blown apart as much as I thought it might. Now, where's Vanessa? Ah, Paul is the D that's pushing the hardest here. I actually thought that Vanessa would be the one that dropped Paul, but it looks like Paul. Now, if he can hang in here, he could. This is a big moment for him. Eric is right at the front. Very nicely done by Eric. Tim Mullett. Where's Bowser? Yeah, Bowser's stuck in there. Kyle did pick it up. He managed to keep going. So now it depends how hard they push over the top here. They've dropped all of the D's, but there's not much in it. There's 6 seconds. There's a group of 3 with Paul. This is now if Paul looks like yeah, it looks like the C's have been blown apart actually, and we've got a big gap. Alan Bray is the final one on that group of 10 of the C's. And we then have a group with Terry Leduc and Bowser. And I think the D's are all going to be back together in a little group. Amazing. Oh, poor Bowser. Full crack. Okay, that was a great climb. Let's go to the B's who are going to be approaching that climb very, very rapidly now. Oh gosh, they're actually almost at the top, and Bobby is putting the. Wow, they were even closer than I thought. Excellent work from Bobby. He's pulled the feather out of his back pocket just at the right moment. I think he could take this. Mark John has been dropped a little bit, but is pushing hard now, as is Ali. But Bobby goes over the top, just passing Nate. Bobby, I think, took it. Oh, no. Herrera got a 129. Yeah, nicely done. But you can see the B's have been completely blown apart. They're all, well, there's like Andy Kroll. This is a tough old race. Brent is just on the back. It's going to be close if he can get back into that group. I think he probably will, because normally things chill out a little bit, but he's going to have to push. Come on, Brent. Come on, Brent. Yeah, he's trying. He's definitely trying. I've got to say, Mario Line has given us all a very hard race today. Brent doesn't look like he's going to make it, unfortunately, unless it really slows down there as they go down the hill. He could be lucky. There's a bit of, if he can keep this distance here, then there's a bit of an uphill drag in a moment where he could definitely close it up. But they've got 5 seconds. And it doesn't look like he's getting much help from Dreiser. Now the Bs they're still 2 minutes behind the Cs. I thought they were going to be almost right up with them. Now this is the moment of truth for Brent. This hill here that's coming up, this is the only moment he's got that he could close this, I think. The one that comes up just in a moment. He's held it to 4 seconds and the guys are not going very fast in front. It's touch and go. Let's just watch this moment. Andy Kroll has been dropped. It's down to 3. Come on, Brent. You can do this. Push, push, push. Yeah, I think he's going to do it. He's going to do it. It's going to go up a little bit in a moment. This is the bottom of the com. Nicely done, Brent. Well, I'm saying he's nicely done. I think he's gonna manage it. And look at this, Nate Holm, sneaky, has jumped in with the Bs. There's no stopping that boy. Come on, Nate, if you can just stick it up this hill, it flattens off soon. Come on, just a big effort here. I think Nate is he's gonna smash it. This is incredible because if he does this, if he sticks this, it's gonna go flat now. There's no more climbs on this route, and there's a chance that Nate could get dragged around to catch those other Ds. The other Ds they're a minute in front at the moment. Oh no. Brent, what's going on? Go on, dude. Catch them. Oh, I think Nate is not. It's so close. If he just managed to do this, Brent has. I think no, he still hasn't caught on. I think he's going to do it. My money's on Brent. I think my money's on Brent. Although now they've just got a little bit away. Cooked KRL. Not sure what that means. Oh, Brent, I thought you had it there, dude. Okay. Unfortunately, I don't think Brent is going to make it back now. So it's over to Mark and Bobby to represent the herd in this one. Wow. And Nate has dropped back as well. So yeah, there we go. Okay, let's check what's happening back with the Bs. With the Cs, I mean. So this is the front. So we've got Alan Bray leading the way nicely. Kyle, Tim Mullett, Eric Sedgwick, Shane Alfred, who rode so well in the Omnium. I think he's got a good chance in this one. Of course, it depends how everyone's done in the sprints. It's a points race overall. It looks like they've dropped a couple of riders here. Are these guys going to get back on? Shane. Come on, Shane. Push, push, push. Barber's definitely been dropped. Terry Leduc's been dropped. Oh, wow. So, back in the Ds. Vanessa and Mido have dropped Paul Kelleher. Although he has got a group, so if he's lucky, and the Bs are approaching rapidly here. They're now just 37 seconds behind those Ds. But there's not much time left in this. Let's just okay, hold on. Now we've completely nope. Okay, this is going to be very problematic to try to get back to. I'm going to have to shoot through the race here. Oh yeah, we're back with the front guys. Okay, so it's 54 kilometers though, so there's still another 5 kilometers left. It looks like, yes, they definitely dropped Barber. Shane managed to get back in, and he's right at the back. And there's a group of 12 here now of the Cs. Let's have a look on what's happening in the A's. So, yeah, big gaps. Tyler's on a chasing mission now. Okay, so the Bs. They're really closing up fast now, I think. So we've got Bobby. We've got Mark John still in that front group. Looks like some other Bs off the back. So Brent has now, yeah, he's in a group. Nate is managing to hold in with that group. So good effort, Nate. Yeah, is it possible? Not sure if it's possible to get back in with the... So, fan view at the front here. Yeah, I pressed the wrong button. Definitely. Okay. Yeah, this will work. Maybe. Okay, the easiest way is just to shoot through. So, in the Bs, we've got the normal, the guys that we've been talking about, Bobby Edwards, Mark John. Bowser's managed to stick into that group. Actually, this could be quite good for Bowser, because the Bs, the Cs are, they're about a minute ahead, I think. So they've done 49.2, and the Cs, the front Cs, from 50.3. So it's 1.1 kilometers difference at the moment. The gap is, looks like, yeah, there's still like 147. So it doesn't look like the B's are going to catch them now. There's a pretty hefty group of C's here. I did think they were going to catch them at one point. But Bowser could have played quite a clever one there, because I think he could catch up a lot of those other... he's going to mop up quite a few of those other C's, I think. So in the D race, so Paul has just been dropped by this group of the B's, unfortunately. And it means that Vanessa is now in front in the D's. She's riding really well and then going away from Mido. In terms of the C's, so let's go right to the front of the... No! This is the front of the C's. Yeah, this is the front of the C's. So we've got Shane. He's my favourite for this one. Tim Mullett, Eric Sedgwick, Alan Bray. They're riding really, really well. And it looks like they've got 3 kilometres left. The race has been pretty quick, I think, compared to the earlier race, from what I can see. Although the time on the earlier race might have been the total time from 10:50 rather than the actual race time. So let's see. Yeah, they're closing up. So they're 130 behind the C's now, with 2.5 kilometers left. But the C's are back into the desert, and it finishes on Fuego Flats. So I can't see them catching, although things are moving pretty quickly. Let's go back to let's just check out the B's here. Yep, so the B's are just about to enter the desert. And it looks like there's a B off the back there. Who is that B? Laberge has been dropped. So, have we got all of them? Yep. Mark John and Bobby are still there. And the C's are just a minute ahead now. The B's are closing up rapidly. Oh no, this is not the front B group though. This is the front B group. Yeah, this is the front B's. But it is definitely closing up. So they've done 52.2 kilometers. The B's 51.5. Wow. They could catch them, because they are putting in a mighty effort here. Bobby is he's attacking here. This is a mighty effort to catch the C's. Did Bowser manage to stick? Yes, he did. Bowser stuck it with the B's, and so is Vanessa. Oh, fantastic! Very clever. Well, even I'm down there. Right, we better get back to the B at the front of the C's. No. Okay. What's going on? All right, Tim Mullett. He's definitely at the front of the. Okay. Right, this is the front of the C's. Now, I was bigging up Shane. Shane is still in there. But this has been a tough race. Look at this already. There's a lot of power going down right now. Yep, Shane has just caught them up here. And this is coming into the final sprint. So who's going to take this? Who's got the power-ups? Who's going to be the first to launch the orange numbers? Yeah, some arrows are dropping. Ernesto hits the orange numbers first. Shane is moving through. D. McCormack. Oh, what a great race. All right, and I'm going to jump back. Otherwise, I'm going to lose the lead. Now, look at the bees. They've really closed up incredibly well. Herrera has got a jump on them, though. He's pulled away. Everyone's probably absolutely cream crackered at this stage. Let's see if Mark John unleashes an epic Mark John style sprint. He's at 7 watts per kilo already. The arrow's dropped. And Mark is sprinting. Wow. Fantastic sprint from Mark. I think he's taken all of these. Oh, they're closing up on him. Wow. Mike Fish. What a race. Well, and that's it, everyone. That is it. It's too difficult to follow everyone around. What a fantastic race. I mean, it was almost turned into a bit of a chase race, actually. Really great riding at the front. I loved Nate's little move to get into the seas, but then he just couldn't quite stick it up the hill. But yeah, great riding all around. Long race, that one, and yeah, pretty difficult. Anyway, thanks everyone. Sorry, I know there was lots of gaps and it was a difficult one to follow. I did my best to try to jump around and see what we could do in terms of the groups. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And until next